Happy holidays. Just make sure that I am live everywhere so that everyone can see me. Let's connect. Let's make it great. Happy holidays. Alright, let me give everybody a couple of minutes to log in, to get situated, to cleanse the space as always. It's about to rain where I'm at, which is awesome because you guys know with me, whenever there's something big energetically going on, it rains no matter where I'm at in the world. So this is a sign that we're about to have some big changes, big shifts, big cleansings coming in, and I'm here for it. Let's get the space cleansed. What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? Happy New Year. Hello everybody. Hope you can hear me okay. Facebook, Instagram, what's up, what's up, what's up? YouTube, what's up? Whether you're here live or you're joining me in the replay, I am grateful to have you here with me. Alright. Let's get started. So, Happy New Year, everybody. Happy holidays, Happy New Year, Happy Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, all the things, right? All the things. For those of you that don't know me, I am Autumn, the Enlightened Daughter, also known as Magic Mama. I am a life, sex, and spirituality coach, tarot and oracle reader. I am just here for you. I'm here for the collective, really just guiding people on their awakening and pouring into the collective any way I see fit. And we are doing a weekly energy check-in. So it's Thursday, it's the 29th of December. We are rounding out 2022 rapidly. This has been a very powerful year, for sure. A lot of lessons, right? We started off 2022 with Venus retrograde, which was giving us the energy to heal the divine feminine energy that came in. And now we're at the end of the year with Mars is in retrograde, which is healing our divine masculine energy. So it's been very intense, very eye-opening, very kind of revolutionary for each of us as an individual, right? And even seeing how things are playing out in the collective, it's been intense. So before we get started, let's open with a prayer, of course. So thank you, Heavenly Father, Heavenly Mother, for being here with me in the collective. Thank you for pouring your divine energy into us and just allowing us to connect here in this safe space, getting messages that are going to serve our highest and greatest good and put us on our highest and greatest timeline. Thank you for opening our hearts and our minds and our souls so that we can receive these messages, receive these blessings, and move forward to just be the best version of ourselves. Thank you for the insight, the healing, the love, the abundance, the divine well-being that is our divine birthright, and allowing us to remember these things and all the things that we do. Thank you for allowing us to hold the space and hold each other in a safe, sacred space and just pour into one another, connecting each other at a really deep soul level. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the love. Thank you for our angelic family and our ancestors and our spirit guides and spirit animals and the ascended masters just all being here and really supporting us at this time. We are nothing without you, and we are nothing without them. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is. Ashe and amen. Perfect. Let's get it popping. So, we're ending the year. If you guys got plans for 2022 or how you're going to do New Year's, definitely let me know. I'm super excited. I'm going to be going to Vegas for the first time in my life, knocking something off my bucket list, so that's really, really exciting. Starting off the year just surrounded by all that like wealth and abundance and shine and celebration is going to really activate, different light codes within me. So I'm just super excited to just download all of it, take it all in, and then to, of course, come back and share it with all of you as I do all the time. So, again, as I was saying, we started off the year with Venus in retrograde, really healing the divine feminine energy, right? And the divine feminine is coming back online in this world and really activated. So we've had a lot of help from Kuan Yin and Mary Magdalene and Mother Mary and Isis and Kali Ma just really coming in and supporting us and healing the divine feminine energy, right? And it's not about gender, obviously. We all have feminine and masculine energies within us, right? The feminine energy resides in our sacral chakra, right? Our second chakra, between like our pelvic bone and our belly button. And that chakra allows us to feel intuitively. It allows us to create and to nurture and to express. It's our sensuality. It's our water chakra. It's our intuition, right? Our emotions. And so deep healing into that, right? Feeling safe within our bodies again. Feeling safe to express ourselves sexually. Feeling safe to create and to nurture and to be in that energy, right? As a female, I grew up in a masculine energy most of my life because it was safer for me to do that, right? I just kind of had like a tumultuous childhood, so it was safer for me to kind of be in masculine energy, and it took me a long time to feel safe in my feminine energy. And as I started really activating the feminine within me and healing all of those energies, I was able to create more, to nurture myself more, to understand that like my emotions weren't a curse, but actually a blessing, right? They're a guidance system to how our soul is interacting and whether or not we're on course for our own path and our mission and our divine purpose, right? Like our soul's purpose. So there's a lot of blessings in that. And now we're at the end of the year where we have Mars retrograde, right? And Mars is all about power and ambition and moving things forward. It rules Aries and Scorpio, right? Which are, Aries is my sun sign, so I've had a very intense year. Venus is also ruling Taurus, and I think I want to say Libra as well, right? So I'm a Taurus moon. I'm a Taurus. My Venus is in Taurus. I'm an Aries sun, so I got rocked this year, right? And I'm sure many of you are right there along with me as well, right? Many of you just, we went through it, right? We've all gone through it. It's just been one heck of a lesson after lesson after lesson, healing our feminine energy, healing our masculine energy, healing the generational curses, healing karma, healing ancestrally, healing your paternal energies, healing your maternal lineage energies, right? And it's just like, it almost felt like no matter which way you turn, like the hits just kept coming, right? And life is never happening to you, it's always happening for you, right? So it kind of could feel like your life was a shit show, right? Like the rug was just being pulled from under your feet. No matter which way you turned, it's like the world was exploding. But in actuality, all of the stuff was coming in to love you, to benefit you, to pour into you, to make you just a better version of yourself, right? We were going through all this stuff so we could just like learn, grow, and move forward, right? To just literally just like take ourselves to the next level, to just be a better version of ourselves. And sometimes it doesn't look good, and it definitely doesn't feel comfortable, right? It was a very uncomfortable year for many people, right? And healing and growth isn't always fun, it isn't always easy, but it's the things that we go through and grow through that allow us to be a better version of ourselves. 2023. Hey cousin, I love you. 2023 is bringing with it a lot of victory and a lot of prosperity. I feel that so deeply within my soul. And for those of you that are choosing to walk in that blessing and to activate those codes, you're going to have a very prosperous year, right? And I'm talking tangibly, with physical things and money and things like that, but also spiritually and emotionally. This is just going to be a year where you allow your light to shine, where your heart is open, where you are just showing up at like the most dynamic, delicious, baddest version of yourself, right? Like you're just going to come out here just being like all that you can be, standing on the mountaintop, shining your light, saying what you got to say, doing the things you need to do, creating. Many of you are going to be starting businesses, or if you've already started a business, right? This is going to be a year where your businesses really kick off. This is going to be a year where if you're not in a relationship, right, this is going to be a year where you kind of get into alignment with what it is you're actually looking for and being a reflection of that, right? Not just sitting there praying and wishing for love, but being a reflection of the love that you expect in your life, and thus being in alignment with it and allowing it to be reflected back to you. So it's going to be super dope. And I'm telling you guys, like, I feel the abundance, I feel the prosperity, I feel the victory coming in for everyone for 2023. 2023 also reduces to the number 7, and 7 is the God number, right? Spirituality. So this is really going to be the year where your soul is moving forward, right? Our souls are in our high heart, and this is going to be the year where you stop listening to the egoic mind and letting it talk you out of your blessings, and you start tapping into the energy of your soul, and you start walking in your purpose, start walking in your mission, start walking in your blessings. This is going to be a year where you realize that you are blessed and covered in grace, right? And where you start to receive that, right? This is a year of receptivity, of opening our hands and being like, you know what, God, I'm ready to receive. I'm ready to be blessed. I'm ready to get out of my own way. I'm ready to just feel your love and your light, and to just know that not only can I say that I can do anything, but to know and to do it, to be, do, and have all the things, and to walk in that energy. And this is the year for that. This is the year for that. So I'm super excited about 2023. 2022 was awesome. It brought us a lot of lessons. It brought us a lot of healing. It brought us a lot of joy. It brought us a lot of pain. It brought us a lot of revelations. It cracked our hearts open. It activated our third eye. We came into alignment with our truths. We had to look at some really nasty, ugly shit that was going on inside of us, right? We got triggered in ways that were kind of unreal, and a lot of the year was spent feeling like the world was going to shit, right? But you can even tell by look at what's happening with Ukraine and Russia, right? You can even tell that the world is shifting there, because the world is not down for World War III. The world is like, no, we're not doing that, right? People are making decisions from their heart, from their soul, and they're opting into a higher timeline. They're opting into doing things a little bit differently. More light has come into this planet, and that is why things are shifting like that. You know, and Russia is a big amplification of an old paradigm, right? It's stuck on the old, holding on to the past because of the power and the control, because that is an easier memory for them to hold on to. But we're shifting, right? We're moving into the age of Aquarius. We're moving into an age of community and spirituality and the oneness of everyone, and not wanting wars or pettiness or hunger or poverty, right? We're moving into a space where everyone is like, no, we want better, not just for ourselves, but for our descendants and for our brothers and sisters across the globe, right? There's almost 8 billion people on this planet. Everyone's birthright is abundance and prosperity and well-being and peace and harmony and joy. That's for everyone. And so the fact that so many of us are living without it shows us where we need to make a change, where we need to make a shift, and those things have already begun, and that's super, super exciting. So that momentum is kicking us forward into 2023, and I am here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Hi, everybody. Thank you guys for joining me. I love you, love you, love you, love you. I see the hearts. I feel the love. I love you guys. Thank you for joining me. So, super intense time. Super exciting. Super excited to be here for it. Bless, baby. Bless. So anyway, I'm going to pull some cards from the Divine Abundance deck, because like I said, I feel that huge amount of abundance and prosperity just coming in for everyone. And if you are open to it, if you are receptive to your abundance, if you're open to your abundance, if you are willing to receive abundance, this is going to be a big year for you. This is going to be a huge win. And I'm so excited to just be here with it, share it, to see it, you know, to definitely give me the comments, you know, let me know, DM me, email me, whatever you got to do, just keep me in the loop, because I'm always celebrating people. It is my joy and my pleasure to celebrate you guys all the time, to celebrate your wins, to celebrate how you move the markers, to celebrate your healings, to celebrate your revelations, even to celebrate your triggers, because triggers lead to our healing, right? When something gets under our skin and we feel some kind of way about it, it shows us what needs to be activated, what needs to be cleansed, what needs to be healed. So I love when triggers come up, because then they teach me a huge lesson. And guess what? It took us like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years to get to where we're at right now, right? To be the person that we are. And it's not always easy to undo that stuff, but it's a lot easier to fix the problem once we know it, right? And when we have a trigger, that brings awareness into our soul, right? And so when we know better, we can do better, and that's a big part of it, right? A big part of understanding that, like, maybe the people that raised us, although they did the best that they could from where they were at, didn't necessarily know better, right? And so now that you do, it's like, all right, let me make a shift, let me course correct, let me do some things, right? Let me be a little bit more clearer in my manifestations. Let me take accountability for the life that I'm living right now, because I, at some level, have manifested this, right? Whether that's how I'm feeling about myself within, or the actions that I'm taking without, right? As within, so without. As above, so below. So understanding that these course corrections are not coming in to have you feel bad about yourself, right? This was a year of realizations, of old things coming up, and none of it was for judgment or criticism, right? We had all this stuff kind of bubbling up to the surface, and it was a lot of it was ugly, right? Imagine you're making like a freaking huge pot of like stew or something like that, right? And the stuff that's coming up that sits at the top, we have to ladle off, right? Because we're not going to eat that. It's not going to serve us. It doesn't serve our highest and greatest good. So that was what was happening to the collective. All of us had stuff coming up to the surface for us to just get rid of, right? And it's like, oh, I see it, now I can get rid of it. Oh, I see it, now I can get rid of it, right? And for some of you, it felt like every 5 minutes you were out there, just like ladling your stew. And for others, it took a while, right? It took a while for the stew to start to boil and for the stuff to start to come up. But at the end of the day, we had the opportunity to do something about it. And so with that knowledge and with that awareness and with that open-heartedness, now we move forward into 2023 without those burdens, without that trauma, without those distortions keeping us back, keeping us in bondage, right? Preventing us from living our best life. And it's awe-inspiring. It really is awe-inspiring. We have Mercury retrograde right now, and we have Mars retrograde right now, right? This Mars retrograde has been going on for over a month now, I want to say, and it's going to continue until about the second or third week of January. And it's been intense, especially when it comes to communication, right? So people have been a little bit triggered, right? Angst, arguments, miscommunications, popping off, that kind of energy. And with retrogrades are always about resting, reflection, reevaluating, revamping, reviewing, releasing, right? So we have Mars and Mercury retrograde, which are two major planets to be retrograde at the same time. Both of them are dealing with communication right now, right? So be mindful of how you're speaking to people, be mindful about how you're communicating, be mindful about how you're responding to people that are coming at you, right? People are getting triggered right now. I'm going to say that again. People are getting triggered right now, and they're projecting a lot of bullshit out. So knowing not to take things personally, knowing that a lot of stuff is just being projected onto you will definitely empower you, okay? And we can have some delays when it comes to like transportation, travel, even when it comes to communication, right? You might be expecting an email and it might be in like your spam folder, right? You might have to just like double check things, or you think that you sent somebody a text and then you realize that it actually didn't go through and you have to send it later, right? Or assuming someone received your text and they didn't because maybe they're having phone issues, right? It's just a matter of like taking a step back and not taking everything personally at this time. We also have like technology issues that can come up during this time, right? So just being mindful of it and being aware. Let me make a few backups, or let me make sure that my my devices are charged properly, or that that I've not just checked my list but checked it twice, right? We're gonna do a little Santa energy. We're gonna like review and go through things and make sure things are just functioning properly, right? And just give yourself an extra minute, right? If you need to travel during this time, which many of us are because it's the holidays, give yourself extra time. Definitely put it out to the angels. Thank you, angels, for allowing me to get there safely. I appreciate, getting there on time and being safe, covered, and protected. I love to fly, right? It's one of my favorite forms of transportation. And I always call the angels in with me. Like, may y'all hold up the wings and cover the pilot, and so that I arrive at my destination safe, right? I love to travel, so I'm always going to call in the divine when I'm traveling, because I don't know everything that's going on. I can't tell you about weather patterns and wind and wings and how things work. I know that I'm putting myself out there and I want to get from A to Z, and I'm going to let God take care of the rest, right? So just putting that stuff out there. So just be mindful of how you're communicating in the next few weeks, right? Be easy with yourself. Don't be so harsh on yourself. A lot of the conversations that we have and the communication that we have is also with ourselves, right? How are you speaking to yourself at this time? Are you badgering yourself? Are you being hard on yourself? Are you talking down on yourself? Or are you speaking life over yourself, right? I'm victorious, I'm extraordinary, I'm healthy, I'm wise, I'm loved, I'm abundant, I'm prosperous, I'm lit, right? Like, however you choose to word it, speak life over yourself. Really important during this time, right? We want this energy, this activation to take us into the new year with blessings. When I was growing up, you know, we would always end the year how we want the year to start. So before the year ends, you know, you wash all your clothes, you make sure your house is clean, you have food and like, you know, your pantry and your fridge, you have money in your wallet, because that's what you want to bring into the new year, that same kind of energy. So what can you do right now to bring in that beautiful energy for 2023, right? Do you need to clean up? Do you need to organize? Do you need to put some stuff into bags and get rid of it so that you can make space for the new blessings in your life? You know, cleaning out your wallet, cleaning out your purse, cleaning underneath your bed, cleaning out your closets, washing your clothes, throwing the trash away, right? Like, you got a couple of days to just get this stuff in order so that you can really rock it out and you can come into 2023 with a clear head, clear space, right? Feng Shui wise, the cleaner your environment is, right, the clearer it is for you to think, right? You have more organization and you have more space to just have clarity in your life. So you want to do it for a number of reasons, right? Not just because, like, it feels good to have a clean house, because it definitely does, but also you want to have clarity in your mind as well, right? So, beautiful. Sorry, you see me wiping my nose. The weather here has been all over the place, and so I've been getting the sniffles. So, anyway, thank you, angels. Thank you guys for being here with me in the collective at this time. I ask for messages that are going to serve everyone's highest and greatest good. Let us in our highest and greatest timeline. What do we need to know in regards to the energy of divine abundance as we step into 2023? Thank you, angels. Thank you guys for these messages. What do we need to know? What do we need to see as we move into 2023? Perfect. Extraordinary. One of my favorite words. One of my favorite words. I say this all the time. People are like, how are you? And I'm like, extraordinary. And they're like, I wish I could be. And I'm like, you can. It's a word. I don't own it. You know? There's a wild and impetuous uniqueness to you that deserves to be honored. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Own it. Step into it. Be one with it, right? Allow yourself to be seen, right? Look at the beautiful peacock here and all the beautiful feathers, right? And when does a peacock show its feathers? When it's trying to be seen, when it's trying to mate, when it's trying to, like, show off, right? So allow yourself, your luminous light, to be seen at this time, right? You are a unique expression of the divine. You're not meant to do and be and act like everybody else. So how are you showing up in the world, and how can you express yourself, your uniqueness, your divinity, your brilliance, right? Your sovereignty. How are you showing up? That's all this is about, right? Live life and be extraordinary. Extraordinary, right? Show your feathers, show your signs, let everybody see you. Make your mark in this world, whatever that means to you, okay? We have grounded. I love this energy. Of course, we're grounded. As always, you should be. Many of the most evolved beings on earth are regular folks living with joy, dignity, and courage. I love this. Listen, you don't have to have a main stage in order to live your life full out, right? There are those of us that are called to be the way showers, right? We're meant to stand up and to be on camera, to write the books and write the blogs and do all the things in order to be kind of like a guiding light for everyone. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's what you have to do, nor do you have to be that, right? I love this energy because it reminds me of the story of Jesus when he was like talking to the masses, right? On the mount, and all these people are getting hungry, and the disciples are like, hey, master, you know, like, all these people are getting hungry, they're getting kind of anxious, like, we don't have anything to feed them. And he's like, oh, is there any food around? And there was like one kid with like 2 loaves of fish and 5 fishes, right? And they take that food, he blesses it, and he's able to feed thousands of people from that one basket. And it reminds me of that because how did the child get this food, right? There was a mom at home who decided to pack a lunch for her kid and send him on his way so that he can have a great day and go listen and learn something, right? That's this energy, right? Just a regular, ordinary person, just a mom just doing her due diligence, taking care of her child. But because of her one act and taking care of, nurturing, and loving her child, that child had food that was able to be blessed, that was then able to feed thousands of people that we're still talking about to this day. That's this energy. So maybe it's meant for you to be on a main stage, and maybe you're meant to start like a YouTube channel, or to do a blog, or to, you know, to be a life coach or a spiritual leader or whatever you're called to do. Or maybe you're just meant to be the best and happiest version of yourself, whatever that means. The world needs janitors. The world needs teachers. The world needs leaders. The world needs presidents. The world needs, readers. The world needs all of us to show up in however we are. Cooks, cashiers. Like, everyone is a part of this unique world, and we all add to the tapestry of life. And sometimes all you have to do is just be the best version of yourself, whatever that is. Being a farmer is dynamic because so many of us eat from those blessings. And so just because you're in overalls and your hands in dirt all the time, it doesn't mean that you're less than, right? You're contributing to the greater good of all of us by one, blessing the planet and working with Gaia, and two, also like pouring nourishing energy into the collective, right? It's a beautiful thing. You also want to be grounded and centered and always, so that when life is happening around you, you don't feel all tumultuous, right? You want to be grounded and centered, solid in what you do, so that life is never happening to you, but you understand life is happening for you. When the storms of life are circling around you, it's not throwing you off center because you're grounded and centered, right? Yeah, maybe you might end up in a different space, in a different location of where you started out, but it doesn't mean that that's wrong. It means that you didn't let it throw you off, and now that you're in this new space, you're like, okay, I'm meant to be here now, right? Because I'm in flow with the universe. Beautiful. We have, awakening. Heck yeah, we are. A lot of you have awakened over this year, right? You're realizing you're multidimensional. You're realizing your spiritual self. You're realizing who you are as an eternal being. You're realizing and remembering that you came in here, right, under the veil of forgetfulness, but you're like, wait, I'm a child of the divine. Yes, I'm extraordinary, right? I'm a unique expression of God. I can be, do, or have anything. I'm a very powerful manifester. I'm a co-creator in this universe. Yes, you're awakening to all of those truths, all those realizations. Some of you have had, past lives in ancient Atlantis or ancient Egypt, and those teachings and those awarenesses are coming back online for you, and you're starting to remember. Remember your times in the temples. Remember your times when you were, really utilizing your energy for your highest and greatest good. Oh, my Lord, wake me from life as a spiritual sheep. Amen to that. May I hear you through my own instincts and common sense. Wake me from my life as a spiritual sheep. Find your own way. Listen to your own messages. Read the text, the ancient text, on your own. I grew up Baptist Methodist, and great foundation, right? I love it, I love it, I love it. But unfortunately, a lot of the pastors, preachers, whatever, like over time, reverends, their teachings came from a space of fear, right? From a space of lack, from a space of scarcity, and also from a space almost of sexism, right? Because it was like, you're a female, you're kind of less than, you don't understand these texts unless a man explains it to you. That used to always catch me, because I'm like, why would God make like half the world females if we were just irrelevant? It never sat right with me, right? That kind of pushed me away from the church for a long, long time. And then I had to build my own relationship with the divine, and I started reading the text for myself. I started understanding, I started going down the rabbit hole for myself and seeing how things were kind of misinterpreted or explained in a manner where it was fear-based as opposed to love-based, right? God is pure love. And so awakening from that, from those realizations, and activating within myself, the truth and the knowledge of the divine, and it was like eye-opening, right? It was like, whoa, like I'm God's beloved daughter. Like, I can be, do, or have anything. Like, I'm a powerful co-creator. Those people, although they meant well, were misguided, and I wouldn't have known that if I didn't go down the rabbit hole myself and do my own research. And so a lot of you are awakening, and you're going to be resonating with things a little bit differently. Things are going to be activating for you a little bit differently. You're going to hear things a little bit differently. You're going to see things a little differently. And that's not a bad thing, right? You're awakening to these things, and you're questioning these things, and you're tapping into these things because you're supposed to, right? You should question everything. I tell my kids that. Question everything. Question everything. Ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. If it doesn't make sense, ask until it starts to make sense. If it still doesn't make sense, then maybe there's something there that needs to be shifted, right? Something there that you need to be aware of. It's a beautiful message. Bottom of the deck, we have detachment. I love this. With detachment, you finally feel whole inside, with or without the fulfillment of a particular desire. Ironically, that's often when it's fulfilled. This is about planting the seeds, manifesting, putting things out to the divine, and then walking away and letting it go, right? We plant a seed in the garden. We do our due diligence, right? We take our hoe, we're bringing up the soil, we're making sure that it has fertilizer, we're packing it in, we're watering it, we're making sure it's in a place where the sun can see it, and then we leave it alone because we know that the divine is going to take care of it. And that is everything that we manifest, right? That's just not with the seeds, but that's an example, right? That's why Yeshua talked about the mustard seed. It's an example of what we do. We're putting it out there, and then we're letting it go. And so as you're manifesting, as you're co-creating in this universe, just be aware of that. Like, plant your seeds, put your manifestation out there, and then trust that the universe is going to take care of it on its own, and that you don't need to do anything more. You don't need to be out there digging up the soil and looking in the dirt and trying to see if it took root, or, you know, standing at the window and watching it every 5 seconds. Like, none of that's going to make it happen any faster. Trust it and let it go. Right? The farmer plants their seeds and then they move on to something else. They're not just standing there, you know, waiting for the corn or whatever to grow, you know? Like, they're not doing that. So we want to really detach. We want to really trust and surrender, right? We have faith. We put it out there. We had our faith as a mustard seed. We asked, we believed, and now we're open to receive. And while we're waiting to receive, we're waiting for our little plant to grow, we go do something else. Go shift your energy. Go move on to the next thing. What else are you working on? Right? I put it to the Most High. It's like, all right, I want this. Thank you. I'll take that or something better. And then I move on to the next thing because I know that God got me. And I know that it's going to get figured out. And I know that the answers will reveal themselves to me, or the guidance I need or the help I need will come to me. Right? That is this energy. Really moving forward in this year. Trusting that energy as you're moving into 2023. This is going to be a really powerful year for you guys. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Receive this blessing right now. Like, claim it. This is my year of success, of power, of victory, of prosperity, of divine love, of joy. Like, claim that as your truth. And don't let anyone take it from you. Alright? Angels and guides, what else do we need to know? What else do we need to see? For the collective as we're going to 2023. Love it. Inner peace, yes. Another birthright that we have, right? Inner peace, cool, calm, collected. Very telling right now, right? Especially because we're in this retrograde energy. This is about just relaxing, reviewing, taking a step back from things, chilling out a little bit, right? Knowing it's not that serious, and being calm, that grounded energy, right? So maybe you want to get into a space where you do meditation or yoga, or you go for walks outside if you can. Go hug a tree, get your feet into the soil, right? Weather permitting, obviously, get into a body of water, right? Oceans, lakes, rivers, streams, whatever you can. If you can't do that, you know, maybe take a salt bath or take a shower with some lemon, but bring nature into your house, you know, work with plants, play some shamanic drums in the background, whatever it is that you can do to just give yourself this moment, these times of peace and calm. When you cool out, and you chill out and you allow your mind to rest and recalibrate, right? You have a lot of clarity, you get a lot of answers, you get a lot of downloads coming in for you, right? That's what this piece is going to bring you. That stillness reveals to you a lot of deep insights, right? And so it's beautiful. It's like fish here, so I love the two fishes. It's like the masculine and feminine energy coming into balance. If you happen to resonate as a twin flame, this is also, you know, you guys having that kind of peace coming into your situation. If you haven't met your twin already, right, being easy with the process and understanding that it will happen and you don't need to force it, right? Focus on healing yourself. Also, with all this water is about our emotions, right? And so tapping into your emotional GPS is going to let you know when you're in alignment or when you're not in alignment with our soul. When we're not in alignment with our soul, life tends to be like a shit show, right? And so we get to tap into our emotions to feel when we're moving with the course of our soul or when we're moving away from it. When we're moving away from it, we get a lot of upheaval, a lot of discord, dis-ease begins to show up in our bodies, illnesses, right? Things start to kind of fall apart because we're off path. And so our emotions give us guidance to show us when we're back on path, right? This is a gift that you're receiving. Beautiful. pleasure. Oh yes, tap into the pleasures of life, right? Enjoy this process, guys. Yes, it's an eternal game. Yes, life can be a little heavy sometimes. Yes, it didn't necessarily feel good to do all that healing, but take a step back from it and look at how far you've come, right? Like, I really want you to just like sit with that a moment. Take a step back and look at how far you've come and how far you've grown, right? And how much you've changed since you've gone through all this healing, right? Sometimes we go through the dark night of the soul, or we go into these energies of healing and shifting, and we forget to kind of celebrate where we're at. We forget to kind of just acknowledge that we've done some really good things. So have a little bit of fun, right? Bring some pleasure into your life. Bring some joys into your life. You're ascending, right? And many of you are being initiated to go through to the next level of yourself. But enjoy the process, right? Be thankful for the things that are coming up. Be thankful for the lessons that you're learning. Be grateful for this world that you're a part of, right? And what can you do to bring some pleasure into your life? Maybe that pleasure is going for a walk, or taking yourself out on a date, taking yourself for a movie, going to get a massage, making love to your divine counterpart, right? Taking a nice hot bath, like whatever that means to you. It's going to be different for everyone, but embrace the energy of pleasure, because it's going to keep your vibration high, right? And when we're in a high vibrational status, guess what? We get in alignment with all these other dope things as well. So blessings, 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 blessings on top of blessings. Embracing, right? Embracing your path, embracing where you're at, being okay where you're at today, right? Be okay where you're at today. It doesn't mean that you have to stay there, but we want to embrace who we are and where we are at this present moment, because this is where our power is. And then we move forward, right? The past is done and gone. There's nothing we can do about it, and the future is not promised. But we can be happy with where we're at today. We can appreciate and acknowledge where we're at today, as well as making plans for the future, right? Obviously, we want to keep our eyes on the prize, but you need to know where you're at right now and be okay with it, right? And be open to that. Bottom of the deck, illumination, right? A lot of awareness is coming through for you, right? Again, as above, so below, as within, so without. So the light is coming here. It's like the veil is lifting, and we're starting to see things a little bit more clearly, and you're starting to see things more clearly about yourself, right? About this world, about the people that you're interacting with, about your tribe, about the decisions that you're making. And none of this stuff ever comes up for judgment or criticism. It all comes up for knowledge, right? Self-knowledge and self-awareness and self-love. The more we know, the better that we do, the easier life becomes, right? And so you're being illuminated to the truth of who you are. And again, I feel like many of you are going to be connecting to a lot of those ancient teachings when it comes to ancient Atlantis and ancient Egypt, right? So maybe you've been, I don't know, reading the Bible, or reading A Course in Miracles, or reading the Tao, or the Emerald Tablets, right? There's a lot in there for you. If you haven't, definitely do your research, because almost everything is available to you online. Wow. My head just started pounding. So there's a lot of crown and third eye chakra. A lot of crown chakra activations going on. So many of you, I feel like, are getting these messages in your dream states. Wow. Many of you have been getting a lot of vivid dreams, a lot of activations that way. So don't ignore the downloads in your intuitive prompts, right? Like, don't ignore the signs, don't ignore the synchronicities. If you're being drawn to certain areas of the world, or certain cultures, or certain teachings, go deeper down that rabbit hole and see what it means, because there's a reason that you're being drawn to that energy, right? It's like people that are drawn to certain kind of foods and cultures. It's like, oh my God, I just love everything Mexican, or I love everything Asian. There's a reason for that, right? Your soul is connected to those energies, or those cultures, or those spaces for a reason. Go deeper down the rabbit hole, right? Just go deeper. Wow, my head was like, boom. All right, the guardian angels also wanted to come in this week big time. They've been a part of all my readings on YouTube this week. If you don't follow me on YouTube, definitely do. I am under the Enlightened Daughter. Check me out. So let's see what the guardian angels have to say for everyone today. So thank you, angels. Thank you, guys, for these beautiful messages. Oh, we also have Jupiter that just moved into Aries. So a lot of blessings and a lot of luck coming in as well, because Jupiter just stationed direct. But also because it's in the sign of Aries, and Aries starts off the zodiac. It's like it's like the 0 point of getting things done in a grander way. So we have like this little seed starting of these huge manifestations coming through, right? And Aries is like the start of the zodiac. It's the fire. It's pushing things through. It's making it stuff. One of the most powerful manifestors, you know, because it's just like that energy of like a child where you just like believe anything can be real. You know, you ever see a child play and they act like they're a pirate and they're like all the way in the zone and you cannot tell them they're not a pirate in the middle of that game. It's that energy, right? It's like, we're going to make it happen. So again, a really powerful year for you guys. I know I keep saying that, but I'm saying it a million times for a reason. Like, it's just, this year is going to be transformative if you're open to it. Not everybody's open to it, right? Some people are comfortable with the timelines they're on. They're comfortable with the stories they've been telling themselves. They're comfortable with their limitations. Fantastic. But for those of you that aren't, watch and believe, baby. This time next year is going to be a whole new world for you. I guarantee it. Earth and ground. Again, with that grounded energy coming in, right? Doubling down on the message to stay grounded, centered, secure. Connect with Gaia, right? Really draw your energy down into the core of the earth. It's going to help you stay balanced as you're traversing these beautiful waters. It's a beautiful gift. Trust in divine timing as always, right? We love to rush things, but we don't need to. Again, we planted the seeds, we gave it to the Most High, and now we get to walk away and know that it's going to happen, right? Sometimes we're in such a rush. Sometimes we're in such a rush for things to happen, but it's not the right time, right? And it can be something as... It could be something like you're looking for a new apartment, right? You can't find one, you can't find one, you can't find one, you can't find one. It's because it's not the right time, right? Maybe the apartment that's meant for you, the place that you're meant to live in, that's going to change your world, maybe it's occupied right now, right? Maybe it isn't built yet, right? There's a number of reasons. Again, there's almost 8 billion people on this planet, and there's a lot going on in the mix, but we want to trust in the timing of the divine, you know? So sometimes we're not ready for the blessings that we want so bad, and we need to course correct, right? Maybe sometimes we need to take another class, or we need to learn another thing, or we need to have another interaction, or we need to meet up with different people because it just wasn't our time, right? There are some plants that you plant in the soil that you're going to see sprout within a couple of days or a week, and there are other things like bamboo shoots that you're not going to see sprout for years, but then when it does, everything transforms in what seems like a moment, right? That is trusting it, trusting that it's all going to happen when it's meant to happen, and it's going to work out perfectly for you. All right? Beautiful. Composure. More of this energy of staying grounded and staying centered. There's a theme here, right? This is like the third message that we're getting that's telling us to stay grounded and centered. So that is going to be your strength, right? That is the key to winning this year. Always go back to the stillness. Always go back to being grounded and being centered and connecting with your higher self, right? That is going to help you win. And look at this, right? The balance between our masculine and our feminine energies, right? The masculine energies in our solar plexus are fire center, right? Feminine energies in our sacral chakra, that's our water center. So a real balance here of the elements as well coming in to support you. And what did I say? Trust in those promptings you're getting. A lot of you, wow, my head again. So a lot of you have already been receiving these messages, but maybe you've been ignoring them, and I need you to not ignore them. Don't ignore the intuition. Don't ignore the prompts. Don't ignore the downloads. You're receiving them for a reason. For a lot of you as well, for many of you anyway as well, this is you activating your third eye and your spiritual gifts, right? And so maybe you've been getting more telepathic connections, right? You think about someone and they're on your phone, or you see a message from them, or a DM, or they pop up on your feed, or, you know, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, however it works out. Projecting your energies out there, right? Like, some of you have been experiencing deja vu, some of you are lucid dreaming, activating your third eye, right? Maybe you're clairvoyant, right? And that's being activated for you as well. Tap into those gifts, right? We all have spiritual and psychic gifts available to us. Not everybody utilizes it, but tapping into it right now is really going to transform you and help take you to another level. There's a lot of messages that are trying to come in for you, but you need to be open to it. All right? And then look at this, last but not least. What did I say? Open your... I think I started off the reading with this, right? Open your hands to receive. Expect miracles. expect miracles each and every day in your life. Expect a miracle. And I'm like, I mean it, like really expect a miracle. Like, oh, I wonder what miracle the universe is going to bless me with today, right? Oh, I wonder what gift I'm going to be blessed with today. I wonder what unexpected, joyful surprise is going to come into my life today. Expect it. Every day I wake up and I go, I expect miracles. Today is the day of my amazing good fortune. Miracles should follow miracles, and wonders should never cease. I say this to myself every single day. And then I just open myself up to it, whatever that might be, right? And it might be something, small, or it might be you're a witness to a miracle, or it might be you're a receptor to a miracle. However it works out, just be open to it. God is in the blessing business. Get with the program, right? Allow yourself to be blessed. Allow yourself to be blessed with love and abundance and peace and divine well-being and health and joy. You deserve all of it. You're a child of the divine. You can be, do, or have anything. You can be, do, or have anything. You can be, do, or have anything. The only people that get in our own way is us. We block our own blessings, right? We do it. We short ourselves. We don't need to. So anyway, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. I'm drinking tea. My head is pounding now that I connected you guys' energy. I love you so much, but my head is on fire. So let's see. Let's see if I have any comments, anything I need to catch up on. Thank you guys for the love. Thank you for joining me. Those who are able to join the live, even if you're watching the playback, I love you too. Thank you for being here. It means the world to me that you guys even share your light and your energy and your time with me. It's deep and it's powerful. I have some coaching available, so I'm doing life, sex, and spirituality coaching. I'm sure you guys already know that. So definitely go to my website, theenlightendaughter.com. I have some discounts going on some of my readings as well. If you're following me on YouTube, there's a coupon code down below that you can catch specifically for those of you that are on YouTube. So definitely check that out. Definitely participate in it. Get your blessings, get your discounts, get some answers and some guidance as we're going into the next year, right? If you want a personal reading to just get some clarity on you specifically and what all these energies are going to mean for you. And then just take it easy, guys, right? Take it easy. Again, we're in retrograde season, right? Resting, relaxing, recalibrating, revamping, all the things, right? So allow yourself the grace to know that you don't know everything, that you don't need to know everything, but to just trust the path that you're on, right? Plant the seeds, give it to the Most High, trust in the divine, and then move forward. It would really be helpful, and I would really love for all of you to just write down what you want your life to look like in 2023. And I'm talking about it in terms of your relationships, whether that's an intimate relationship, a platonic relationship, familial relationships, a relationship that you have with yourself. What do you want your health to look like? What do you want your home to look like? What do you want your finances to look like? Maybe your career or your business, right? How you travel, your leisure time. Like, be really crystal clear about what that's going to look like. And just write it down and plant the seeds. Again, we're ending 2022 in just a couple of days and moving into 2023. So give yourself a little kind of like a guideline for what you want the year to look like, right? If you can, create a vision board. Whether you have a poster board that you can use, maybe you're not in a space that you can do that, you can create vision boards online. You can go to Canva and do one. I did one for myself, right? Added music to it and the whole thing. I was so proud of myself. I was like, ew, girl. Way to go. You're creative and shit. Tapping into that divine feminine energy in my sacral chakra. If you need to get your chakras in alignment and in balance, there's a ton of YouTubes here on, there's a ton of YouTubes. There's a ton of, you see the Mercury retrograde communication shit? There's a ton of videos on YouTube that will help you with your chakras and getting into alignment. So we got that all covered for you as well. Okay? Anyway, I'm going to leave it there as I don't see any questions, but I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you, and I will see you guys next year. Have the happiest new year. I love you, love you, love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. It's gonna be amazing. Own it, step into it, receive it, do it, run with it, all the things. Later, my beloveds.